Algebra 1, unknown value. What is unknown value? This is the beginning of algebra. Beginning of Algebra 1. This video is for students who start learning algebra first time. Okay, what did students learn so far? Let's talk about what is required. Elementary school, you have learned already various numbers. Integer, right? Rational number, and can be fraction, like that, and irrational number, and some of them learned imaginary number. I equals negative minus 1. Okay, if you didn't learn this, that's fine. You will learn it in algebra. So, besides the type of number, numbers, operation, multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division, and maybe square root, right? Square root. You may have learned this or may not. However, there are two things you learned: type of numbers and operation. And that's elementary school objective, to learn the math. Okay. What are you going to do after you learn all of this? Well, you start learning algebra. What's the difference between what you learn in elementary school and algebra? The algebra, you will learn one more new number. What is new number? It's not rational number, it's not irrational number, it's called unknown value. So we talk about what unknown value is. We use x and use this like a Greek style x, okay, because you can use this x, but this sometimes look like a multiplication, right? 3 times 4. Okay, so unknown value, we rather use Greek style, two curves together, x, and you may use this x, but this way it's more visible. It's not the multiplication, but it's unknown value x. So what is unknown value? If you don't know the value, is that a number? Well, it's a number. Real number for now, okay? For now means we start with the real number x, and it can be any other number. So, type of number you learned so far: integer, rational number, irrational number, they are all together called real number. Imaginary number is not real number. Okay. So, we actually, in algebra, we actually include unknown value, real number plus imaginary number. Okay? So it sounds like unknown value. We don't know the value. Is that a number? What's good about it? Well, it's good about it because using this, we can solve many problems. For example, when problem is stated like this. There are 3 boxes, and we know each box contains balls. Same number of balls in each box. Okay? And total number of balls is 9. So, how many balls must be in each box? So far you learn in elementary school, you learn problem like each box contains 3 balls. What is the total number of balls? Well, 3 times 3 equals 9, right? But when the problem stated like this, total number of balls 9, and we know each box contains the same number of balls. What is that a number for each box? So we don't know how many in each box, but we know there are 3 boxes, and that's 9. So you look at this problem, you know what to do, right? You divide 9 by 3, so this must be 3. Okay, so instead of using question mark, we use X. Suppose we have a X number of balls and the same number for each one, and X, we have 3 boxes, multiplied by 3 becomes 9. So problem can be written directly by the math equation like this, right? So this X is unknown value. We don't know, but we pretend we know the number X, and multiply by 3 become 9. Only remaining job is to figure out what this X is. And in this case, easy, right? 9 divided by 3, that's the X. Okay, so this X is the unknown value. Why we bother to use that kind of number? Well, to know about this unknown value. Okay, this is the beginning of algebra. Okay, when you ask middle school or high school student or your adult, what did you learn in the beginning of algebra? They say, I don't remember. What is the beginning? The reason is the math textbook start with non-essential various things. They don't even know what they learn in the beginning. Okay? And that's the way math was taught in school. Here in this video, we make it clear. Okay. So, we have unknown number, the same number in each box, 3 times x, or 3x, you know this, times sometimes omitted. 3x means 3 times x equals 9. Okay, and you know x is easy, right? 9 divided by 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so what will be the value for 3 times question mark? That's the x, and eliminating times notation, it's right, 3x equals 9. Okay, what will be the value of x plus 5 equal 9? What does this mean? Suppose you have a problem like, okay, you have a box. There is unknown number of balls. You add a 5, and you know total should be 9. So That's why you have x plus 5 is 9. So the problem is presented like this. We don't know how many balls in the box, but after we add a 5, I know it's 9. Okay? Or you can say, I don't know how many pounds of meat in the box. You added 5 pounds and the measure, it was 9 pounds. Okay, so how many pound was in the box? Well, I know what you do is 9 minus 5, right? So there was a 4 pound. But using unknown value x, you can write question like this. Unknown number plus 5 became 9. Okay, so this is translating the problem into one equation using unknown value. This is very convenient because we don't know, but this number is there, so we put x. Okay, so in this case, how do you figure out? Just subtract, right? So let's combine this together. Okay, suppose we have x pound of meat in each box. Okay, refrigerator has 3 same boxes, each one has x pounds of meat. Okay, and somebody take out the meat and use, say, 5 pound for barbecue. How many pound left? Well, we don't know, so we put 3 boxes together and measured and figure out it's 16 pound. We still have a lot left. So we didn't know how many pound in each box. X, X, X. And took 5 pounds out. The remaining is 6 pound. How many pounds did we have in the box? So how do you write this question? It's going to be 3x, right? 3 times x that initially we had. And we used 5 pound. Then measure the remaining, all of them, 16 pound. Okay, so that's the story, right? So when they say, so how many pound did we have? We need to figure out x. How do we figure out? Okay, if you learn how to write equation using unknown value like this, okay, your algebra is 50% complete. Now you have to learn how to figure out this x from the equation. So let's try that. Okay, 3 times 3 boxes, right? X pound, and used 5 pound, remaining is 16 pound. So what you do is you think about, before you use a 5 pound, how many pound we had? Well, 16 plus 5, right? And that was 3 times x total before you use a 5 pound, and that is 21. You got it? Okay, so from here you can figure out we had 7 pound in each box because 3 times 7 is 21. So we figured out initially we had a 7 pound in each box, and 3 boxes, total was 21 pound. Okay, so in order to solve the equation with unknown value like this, okay, we need to learn about equivalency. What is this equals? Equal means We don't know x, but this amount is equal to 16. It's balancing right now, right? When it's balancing left side and the right side, how do we figure out? Well, I will say I add 5 pounds on both sides, then we don't have to worry about this. The remaining is 3x equals 21. So we add 5 on the both sides. So this is gonna disappear. Okay? Then what do you do? Well, I'm gonna divide both sides by 3. So remaining is x equals 7. Why you divide by 3? Because of this guy. Get it? So let's break down this process one more time, right? Step 1. We add a 5 on the both side, and this become 21, and this side disappear. Step 2, we divide both sides by 3. So 3x, you learned the in elementary school, you learn how to do calculation like 3x divided by 3, right? And 21 divided by 3, this disappear, so x is 7. So using equation, we can figure out unknown value x. Okay, so this is another 50% of algebra. So you're done with algebra. You can go home. Well, just kidding. Basically it's cover all the stuff you need. Okay, so the method using equivalency, we figure out unknown value x is algebraic solution. So the method is algebraic method. Using algebraic method, we can get the solution, algebraic solution. So a x minus b equals c. Wait a minute, what is a and b and c? Suddenly the number changes to character. Well, to tell you the truth, this is also unknown value. This is also unknown value. This is also unknown value. We got 4 unknown value here in this equation. But promise is made. I give you the value a and b and c later. Okay? So figure out what the x is. I just don't know the x, but I know the value a, b, c. For example, 5x minus 2 equals 7. My promise is I give you the value of a, b, c, but I don't have a value of x. In this unknown values equation, figure out x. Well, in this case, a, b, c is unknown value, but has a little bit different name. It's called constant. Constant means the number is already given. So I got a promise, you give me the number later. Alright, fine. You give me the number later. I figure out x. I know how to figure out x. Okay? in the beginning, what you do is use equivalency, right? What you do is you add the b on the both side, whatever the b is. Right? But whatever the value b is, it's subtract and add, so forget about this one. Okay, we're getting closer. Now, what we do is we have ax equals c plus b. Whatever the number a is, I'm going to divide both sides. Well, if a is not 0 though, don't give me 0 later, okay? If you give me 0, whole things will blow up. So promise me a is not 0. Fine, okay, that's a promise. Okay, then I divide both sides by a. So x equals c plus b and a. So as soon as you give me the value of a, b, c, I give you the unknown value x, the one you want to know. Fair? Sure. So what you do is, if a is 5, if b is 7, and c is 9, then x is simply 9 minus 7 minus over 5. That's the unknown value. How's that? So I made the formula to calculate x. As soon as I get the constant a, b, c, I got the value x figured out easily using this formula. Great. I'm a mathematician, right? So that's the way the algebra empower you to solve the problem. You don't have to solve each time this problem now. Now you use a formula and yeah, give me any number of a, b, c. I instantly calculate and figure out what was x in the equation. This is the power of algebra. So here's some example. Here, constant a is 2, b is 3, c is 5. I have formula already. So any problem that said a x plus b equals c, I know the x. Using this formula, x is 1 or negative 1 over 5. Okay? So let's review how we did it. Algebraic method, the key is equivalency, equal, both sides equal. So this is how actually it's happened. You have a minus b. Just move to the side and change the sign plus, because you add a plus b both sides, right? To cancel out this. So why bother to add b on the both sides? Just move. Negative b will be plus b. Plus b will be negative b. Just change the sign and move to the other side. You get that? Why you do that? It's quicker. You add a b on the both sides and cancel out. You know you're going to cancel out, so why not just move this part to the other side and change the sign. Okay, next step. You know you divide by a because of this guy. And a is gonna disappear, right? So why don't you just move this to denominator? of this fraction. So it's going to be like this. I just move to the other side, and I move to this to denominator. Got it. Okay, you are going to do a lot of practice in this section, how to use algebraic method to solve for unknown value x. Why? Because there will be a lot of words of problem. Words of problem is like, oh, I don't know what time Mike and Kathy met on the way, but Mike was going faster and Kathy was going slower, but Mike left late. Mike eventually catch up Kathy, and I really don't know what time they met. That's an unknown value x. Okay, so find out when they met. Well, you have to solve for the x, but only things you know is Mike's speed and Kathy's speed, and Mike left 2 hours after the Kathy. So you can create algebraic equation using unknown value x, and if you solve for x, you know what time they met. Okay, so to solve the problem, it gives you the great power, which is algebra. Why algebra give you great power to solve the problem? Because it's used algebraic method and unknown value. And we are going to get into this more detail later, but at least isn't it nice to know why you're learning this? This learning is going to empower you, and that's the reason you're learning. Okay, let's do some practice. How about this one? If equation is like that, how you solve it? Okay, so we move this guy but change the sign, right? So it's gonna be, and now we move this guy to denominator, means division, so we flip it and multiply. Right? So that's the way you solve for unknown value x, and once you practice, you know, the remaining is you translate the problem into algebraic equation containing unknown value x. You just solve for it, then you solve the problem. Okay, I hope you enjoyed listening this, and thank you for listening. Move on to the next lecture.